This report will be unlike any other. For the first time on YouTube, a flight report not only features someone sitting around like a potato, posing and talking smart, but will do sports till we drop. Etihad is flying the A380 again, and it's the only first class in the world with closed suites, with a seat, an extra bed, shower and onboard lounge. So could it be that the Etihad First Class Apartments are suddenly the best first class in the world? As soon as they're back in the air, I have exactly this question, but also real doubts, and I'm looking forward to your verdict at the end of this report. We also compare against the huge competition: Emirates, Qatar, Cathay Pacific, Singapore Airlines, and yes, also Lufthansa. And you'll find out how you can fly here without credit card points or Etihad miles, and yet at a fraction of the price. Come join me. Our trip from Abu Dhabi to London is gonna be really interesting. It's 2 a.m. in Abu Dhabi, and finally it's not crazy hot. It's just normal hot, so you can get to your car without being soaking wet after half a minute. Anyway, we're ready now to get to the airport of Abu Dhabi for the first class lounge of Etihad and then the Airbus A380 First Class Apartments. Let's go. I'm Chris. I've been crazy about planes since childhood. As an opera singer and also privately, I'm constantly on the go with way over 100 detailed reports on my 2 channels. Everything here is about airlines, low cost, economy class, business class and first class, but also about hotels and exciting travel destinations worldwide on all continents, with lots of tips, insider knowledge and above all, always honest. And today we're flying one of the best flight products on the planet. The Emirate of Abu Dhabi, with its Lamborghinis and Ferraris, probably got a discount when it came to buying speed cameras. It feels like traffic, and a lot of other things are controlled from every tree. And the penalties are painfully high, so drive nice and slow. Like all Gulf airlines, when it comes to luggage, Etihad allows 50 kilograms in first class plus 2 pieces of hand luggage of 7 kilograms each, although you will hardly be checked for your carry-on in first. By the way, all European airlines allow 3 times 32 kilograms and usually significantly more hand luggage than the Gulf carriers. Before going to the lounge, here's a few words about my luggage provided by Level 8. I already checked in my luggage in Muscat, so now I have only my hand luggage, my very nice aluminium carry-on by Level 8. A really very nice piece, feels like a safe on wheels. And the big luggage is pretty special too. The special design of the Level 8 Voyager allows also larger things to be packed comfortably. The interior of the suitcase is also pretty great, and the extra handle on the front means that back pain when lifting a bag into a car is a thing of the past. However, I'm even more impressed by the aluminum carry-on suitcase, which is as stable and safe as it is stylish. It's very well equipped inside, and both luggages have fantastic wheels that seem to be moving by themselves. With the link in the video description, you get all Level 8 items with a 15% discount. Simply click and enter TravelsingFly15 when completing your purchase. Have fun shopping. The Etihad First Class Lounge is waiting directly behind security, and this lounge has a reputation of being one of the best lounges in the world. Not only first class passengers have access, but also platinum members of Etihad guests. And there we are at the lounge, and there's nobody. How nice. The facilities are excellent, although not the best I've ever seen. The lounge is relatively small, and the a la carte restaurant takes up most of the space. There's no buffet when it comes to dining, but there's a great menu and excellently prepared and presented dishes. Just be aware that they switch to breakfast in the early morning hours, and the kitchen is closed for a short time. The bar also offers some exclusive spirits, but the quality of the wines could really be higher. And I have no idea why not a single other YouTuber says this or noticed it. The competition in Dubai and Doha is on a totally different level. The champagne is the same as on the flight later, and it's really good but not spectacular, and not too much attention was paid to freshness. I got the end of a bottle that had probably been open for a few hours. It's just a little unfortunate that I got the last part of the champagne bottle, so if I would ask now, they would have to open a new one, but I won't. And now it's not really bubbly anymore, it's rather Very close to regular white wine. That's a little shame, to be honest. All first class problems, sure, but it's also a first class lounge and it's the opposite of cheap. Smokers can choose 2 cigars in the cigar room, a colorful playroom is reserved for children, 2 private VIP rooms can be rented for an additional fee, and there's a relaxation room. There's no real bedrooms or day beds, which is not appropriate for the high standards they claim, but here they are on par with Emirates in Dubai, where real resting is also not a part of the package. If you want to compare, the Qatar First Class Lounge in Doha has a dozen proper bedrooms with ensuite bathroom and even a spa with jacuzzi. But what's really special in Abu Dhabi is that there's a small fitness room. Funny thing, I asked the receptionist how many people come here actually, and well, she didn't know what to say right away. I said, is it more than 1 person per week? And she said no. So let's warm up for the flight, you'll see later, and let's take a shower. It's beautiful and made of marble, of course, but they could improve the quality of the products here. The shower was really great, and the tiger said he wants to be part of this flight, so he's with us on board, and let's go now to the plane. The opening of the new huge terminal is planned for the end of 2023, and with it there's gonna be a new first class lounge. A lot of things will definitely be different and hopefully not just bigger, longer, taller. So now again through the most dangerous part of the airport, the duty-free shop, and then we're there. Well, there's so much to see and to do that I needed a coffee right away. So here we are on board our beautiful Airbus A380 of Etihad in the Etihad First Class Apartments. Well, first of all, I got greeted by at least 2 or 3 flight attendants. Then I got offered a selection of welcome drinks. I mean, you can opt anything from the list, and I just decided for some lemon mint juice and some espresso. You of course can also have some champagne, but I thought at 8 AM maybe not yet. And anyway, I tried already a couple of things at the lounge. So yeah, there's sometimes a good time to stop. Anyway, now then we got also Arabic coffee and some dates, and then of course the menu and the wine list. And then there's this beautiful suite in desert sand colors with a large ottoman that later becomes a 2-meter long bed, a beautiful fold-out TV screen, lamps, generous storage, and with a pretty colorful Etihad pillow, a wide, soft leather armchair of Italian brand Poltrona Frau. The table is embedded in one armrest, and in the other there's some storage and the digital and manual controls for seat, window and bed. Above that are an HDMI and 2 USB ports, a power outlet and the remote control for the TV screen, as well as some further storage space, for example for your headphones and the Amenity kit. More on this later. Then there's a separate bar next to the seat, and it's chilled, understated but very practical, different from the over-the-top flashy but not chilled version at Emirates. Another compartment holds the topper for our bed later, and then there is something very special. Instagrammers, look here now, a vanity cabinet where you can admire yourself from all angles. I better close it right away. Finally, there's also a separate slim wardrobe for excess clothes. So altogether it's a really nice cabin, and I'm looking forward to the flight and also how it's gonna look
once we open up the bed. It's gonna be a total different setting again.
Our flight today starts from Abu Dhabi, heading southeast, and after a left turn we head over the Persian Gulf, Iraq, Turkey, the Black Sea, the Balkans, Eastern and Central Europe to London.
I think we still have a few moments until takeoff, so let's talk about how I booked this flight. This flight is of course pretty expensive if you book it in cash. That's about 6,000-7,000 euros or 6,000-7,000 pounds. I booked the flight with miles, but not by transferring points, but I bought some miles with Air Canada. Many people, or most people, don't know that there's actually a way to book a flight on Etihad First Class, not through Etihad guest program, because they charge 500,000 miles one way, but through Air Canada, and then you pay only 65,000 miles. And that's so much better, isn't it? So I bought miles with Air Canada's Aeroplan program when they had a promotion. I bought 65,000 miles for 1,260 Canadian dollars. That's about 850 euros. And then I paid another about 70 or 80 euros for fees. And that was it. So I paid altogether less than 950 euros for this flight without using a credit card, just by buying miles, instead of buying a ticket for 6,000 or 7,000 euros. So I think that's quite a great bargain, and everybody can do it. However, you have to look around a little. There was no flight available from London to Abu Dhabi, for example, also nothing from Abu Dhabi to London, but I booked from Muscat via Abu Dhabi to London, and suddenly the leg from Abu Dhabi to London was available. So you have to look around a little, search, and then you find.
If you like this and the well over 100 flight and travel reports on the two Traversing Flight channels, then please give me a thumbs up, comment on the video and subscribe to the channel with the little bell next to it to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the exciting videos that are released here. You'll help the channel with all its free content to grow and become more visible. Keep looking around Traversing Fly. There's for sure a few more reports that are just the right ones for you. It's so great to have you here. The fact that we're flying in Etihad's A380 is almost a miracle. During the crisis they said it would never be used again, just as the boss of Qatar Airways said that the A380 was the biggest mistake in the airline's history, because of course it's only profitable when it's full. All around the world the A380s are again in the air, and they're the passengers' favorites with the quiet and calm flight experience. The A380 holds even the heaviest dishes and drinks up in the air, and those of you who know my channel know that I try to show as much of it as possible. But what to do with all the calories? Today we work directly on site to combat the effects of lounge, champagne and desserts. So everyone please to the locker room and change. Before we try the whole menu up and down again and drink all the drinks, let's do some exercises. For the first time on a plane on YouTube, let's go down on that mat.
thought there's nobody there, nobody here, so I don't disturb anybody. Well, the tiger got upset with me and left. I think he's just taking a shower right now. I'm gonna have the appetizers now first, and then I'm gonna have a shower before we're gonna have the main courses.
After so much exercise, we need to look at our fluid balance, of course. So here are the drinks. There's a vintage champagne from the Vouet Chapoutier and a rosé champagne from du Val-de-Roi. Then there's 4 white and red wines, a Sauterne and a 30-year-old port wine. But what no other YouTuber says or notices is that the quality is just good, but simply does not correspond to the world's best first class. A seat is a seat is a seat, but a red wine is not a red wine is not a red wine. More about that later. There's also a selection of 5 cocktails and mocktails, beers, some high quality spirits, soft drinks, and of course teas and coffee, including proper espresso. We'll look at the food one dish at a time, of course, as always, as much as I can eat, show.
Lunch starts with caviar, and that's here Osseter caviar, so that's already quite a good level of caviar. And with it I'm having some champagne, and that's a Stenopé from 2009. That's from the house de Vouet Chapoutier from France, and they had a selection of breads, and I took this one. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, of course, now I have to talk about food again, but this caviar is something special. You know, you don't eat caviar every day. Well, I don't, at least. With all shades of marble, greenish and some gray and black. So actually it tastes also very mild. It pops a little, you know, the little eggs pop in the mouth, where some other sorts are more creamy. This one is not. It tastes very nice. Of course, as with many things in life, there are some jumps between the prices, between qualities that I don't quite get, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. And it just tastes very good, and I know it tastes better than on some other airlines I was on. It's a Macron Azé Domaine de la Garenne Burgundy Chardonnay from 2018, and having some Arabic mezze with it, some hot and cold ones, hummus, tabbouleh, and the one with walnuts, and then some warm mezze that's with pine nuts and chicken and vegetarian kafte, and some Arabic bread. What a beautiful burrata, look at this, and so nicely served here with red and yellow, big and small tomatoes, very beautifully done. And I see some crystal like Himalaya salt, I guess, and with it I'm having some Sancerre. And actually in Germany, where I live, it's not so well known, but it's such a nice wine. And what is really also pretty amazing is very old vinegar, balsamico vinegar, in the form of a little fish egg or pearl, and so tasty.
The Etihad A380 has residence and 9 first-class apartments on the upper deck, 4 of which were occupied, including mine. Behind that is the small lounge and 70 seats in business class, which was almost full. But what you need to know, there are big differences between the apartments depending on which seat you reserve.
It's actually good to know, and also quite important to know how the Etihad First Class Apartments are actually set here throughout the cabin, because they're quite different from each other. First of all, in the front left side we have the residence. That's again a level up. You can get into that one residence per Airbus A380 with a quite high surcharge, but I think that's justified. There you have a double seat, and then you have a double bed. Not a big one, I think it's 1.20 meters or so wide, and then you have your own shower. And then we talk about the apartments actually. So there's a big difference between the rows. The second row has the seat by the aisle and 2 windows. Then the third row, where I'm sitting, I think is the best row, along with the fourth row, because here you have 3 windows and you have the same space, of course, and you sit by the window so you can look out. It's really bright here and really nice. Then what is, I think, not so great is the 5th row. I mean, still you have a great space, but there you have only 1 window and you sit by the aisle. So that's, I think, the least attractive of all these apartments. Good to know. I would not take the row 5 unless I want to sleep all the time. Then it's maybe quite handy that it's pretty dark.
Between rows 3 and 4, couples or good friends or strangers can lower the partition wall, but only half of it. The lower body parts are kept separated.
Whoa, wait a minute.
That's unacceptable.
No, that's impossible.
I don't want this to be happening to us.
What I don't want to forget is that the staff is so wonderful here on this flight. They're so enthusiastic and joyful, and the joy really comes over to myself, I'm sure to the other passengers too. So that's really very nice. They're very happy about their job, I guess, and or with their job, what they do, and you can see they're proud of it, and they can be proud of it. It's really a great product here, and well, they make me feel very, very welcome, and so that's really good. And you also see that they're really very well trained.
Now to a highlight on premium flights, the Amenity Kit. The Etihad First Class Amenity Kit is a yellow 4-leather pouch and branded by Acqua di Parma. It contains dental supplies and then lotion, lip cream and cologne of Acqua di Parma, disinfectant gel and wipe, socks and a sleeping mask. A pretty amenity kit. But there's something else in first class, and that's this bag. It includes soft slippers, which unfortunately smell strongly of plastic, and a very, very nice pair of pyjamas of Emirati label, a friend of mine. Etihad calls them loungewear, and they're really suitable for more than just sleeping. They're breathable, soft and very light and chic. And with my PJs under my arm, let's check out the onboard shower, which is next to a regular washroom with a toilet, but has a toilet too. Emirates is the only other airline with a shower on board. While Emirates has 2 large shower spas at the front of the A380, Etihad uses the space at the front left for the shower and double bed of the residence, and on the front right for the shower and a separate toilet. The shower room at Etihad is therefore pretty small, but the shower itself is a bit more spacious than at Emirates. The products are by Acqua di Parma. Shower time is 5 minutes, but you can interrupt the water as often as you like.
Oh, this bed is just wonderful. The mattress is in a very good way firm, so very comfortably firm, and the blanket is also nice. It's a proper blanket and really nice, not too thick. And I just have to think now, this is just very close to Singapore Airlines First Class Suites on their Airbus A380, and I'm just wondering now if this is not even better. I mean, the whole product altogether is better than Singapore Airlines because they don't have a shower on board, and here they have a shower on board. And then this bed is also so nice and comfortable. You cannot do a full double bed here because you have half the wall, but you can do half a double bed. And especially you can see the TV screen like this. And in Singapore Airlines you can also watch TV from the bed, but then your head is towards the window. That means you cannot look out. It's either TV or outside, not both. And here it's both. You can see the TV and you see the blue sky. That's so beautiful. So this is so amazing. I'm just so sad that I don't have enough time to really enjoy it. Ah, that would be amazing. Now another 10 hours on this plane.
I'm so hungry.
Yes, maybe this one. Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. I almost had a power nap. Unfortunately, just almost, because I just had 20 minutes time, so not more. Because of course I was doing the report until then, and now I just want to present you also the rest of the food here. So no more sleeping. I can sleep at home. I had a very good impression of the bed, at least. I knew I would love to stay. Anyway, now we're gonna have the rest of our lunch. So on this flight I'm stretching out the food a little bit. I'm having just the main courses before landing actually. In between I did the shower and looked around at it and did some sports, right? So here we're having some beef tenderloin, and with it Saint-Estèphe de Morose, that's a Bordeaux from France from 2015.
The wines tasted all good, but to be honest, and as stupid as it sounds, that's just not enough in first class. They actually have to be of a different caliber than what I would buy myself for a special dinner. I don't mean 500 euro bottles like at Emirates, of course, but wines that you rarely afford otherwise, and that some Arab and Asian competitors do have on offer.
So the two main courses were as good as I expected them to be. First of all, the beef tenderloin was maybe the best I ever had on a plane. That was really very nicely done inside, medium rare outside, cross. Very, very nicely done. Vegetables too and so on. And the second one was a whole lamb shank, a whole one, and a little spicy. So the wine that I had with it was just perfect. It was a Yarra Yering from Australia, a Yarra Valley wine from 2011.
Even if you can't bite into it, the remote control is the next on the table. Let's talk about the e-box, Etihad's entertainment on board. I only watched the live camera on our plane, but with a selection of over 1,000 films, TV series and music albums, the e-box is one of the really big, though not the biggest, entertainment programs in the air. In first class, the sound comes from pretty good noise-cancelling headphones. The flight show, on the other hand, is unfortunately a bit antiquated, just like on the A380s of Emirates and Qatar, but the external camera really makes up for it.
And like on some seats on Qatar Airways Q Suite, also this flight goes backwards, at least for this row. The third row is sitting backwards, and actually, you know, you're so in your little cocoon here that you don't really realize. Only when you look out, I want to look, oh, where are we going now? And then I say, oh no, actually we're going there. So I would actually have to look over there. I recently saw a documentary where they said that actually even when you're really, really full from a lot of food, there's always some space for dessert and for sweet things. And the reason for that is really evolutionary. So I'm completely excused because evolution tells us we need something sweet just in case of danger so we can run away right away. So here you go.
Ah, that's great!
And of course this port one is just wonderful with the dessert. It has all these wonderful aromas. How would you call that? It's not really bitter aroma, but all these very nice rich aromas that are far away from actual grapes. And this port one is from 1992, so that's more than 30 years old already. What a treasure to have something like this. I mean, cultural treasure. And I'm just wondering now, speaking of treasure, where the tiger is. I think I have to look for him. Of course, he's gonna come with me. Hallelujah, I'm finally full. So the tiger is back and we are approaching into London already, and now on this side, because I think that London will just turn up here on this side in a few moments. And by the way, if you happen to fly to London Heathrow, have a look at Flight Radar 24 first. You should really check that out. If the planes approach from the east, you should really sit on the right hand side, because the view is just spectacular that you have of London downtown, the Thames, River Thames, the Tower Bridge, the Parliament, all this you're gonna see. Anyway, how was this flight now? First of all, the cabin is really very, very beautiful. It's can only be matched with Singapore Airlines First Class suites on their Airbus A380. There you have more space even. You have a proper seat, have a proper bed, and you have a proper table. So that's more space even. But then, if you want to watch TV, you cannot look out the window anymore, because the window would be behind you and the TV is opposite of that. Etihad Airbus First Class Apartments in the Airbus 380, they have a shower. Singapore Airlines does not. So they have a big vanity thing going on in their big bathroom. You can sit down and look at yourself in the mirror. I don't understand the fascination of that you can have all the time. A shower in the air is something very special, and it's not only luxurious, but it's also very practical after a long flight with very, very dry air and you're feeling exhausted. You go in the shower and you feel amazing afterwards. So the other airline that has a shower on board is Emirates. So Emirates, of course, have the shower on board the Airbus A380 exclusively. In Emirates, you have a bigger shower room. Here, you have a bigger shower. I prefer the bigger shower, to be honest. And the food was good too. There was no really luxurious food except for caviar, of course. That was, of course, luxurious. Otherwise, the food was very nicely done. It was very nicely presented. And then we come to the staff. The staff was just fantastic, very well trained, very professional, very friendly, and really hot. Like I felt so welcome, really, and they had so much joy with their job, and the joy just came over to me as a passenger. So I was feeling happy with them. So that's really great. So summing it all up now. Singapore Airlines has more space, but they don't have a shower. Emirates has showers, but they have no space. Actually, you have only the seat, and that was it. A seat that goes down to a bed. Lufthansa, they have great caviar on board, but they have not even a door. And Qatar Airways, the best airline of the world, or at least a couple of years. They have also first class on their Airbus 380, but they also don't have a door. They have great food and great service, but no door, no shower. So, which brings me to the question, is Etihad First Class Apartments maybe the best first class in the world?
Gosh.
I'm really looking forward now to your comments. Have a look at my channel. I reviewed all these airlines that I just mentioned in first class already. And maybe you also went on their first classes, and I would really like to know your opinion. I'm really curious about that. So my dear ones, we've landed in London Heathrow. What an interesting, really interesting flight. I'm pretty surprised. Actually, I'm pretty blown away. Anyway, I hope you really liked the report. If yes, give me a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel. It's free for you. You support the channel very much, and you're gonna get really great reports on the channel. And one of them would be this one. You should really not miss that one. Watch it right away, and see you again very soon here at Travel, Sing, Fly.